Hi, this is Michael William Dunny of ThunderShamanism.com, and again, I'm very excited to give you another installment in my most recent book, which is, let me see if I get this title right, The Shamanic Secret Commandment to a Perfect Life, the missing ingredient to the secret. So now we get into the chapter which is entitled Why Commandment? Why is it a commandment? So by the way, if you haven't seen the two previous videos on this book, go ahead and watch that and that'll get you up to speed. So we talked about how there's one commandment that we have to follow in order to enjoy life. And it is a commandment. This is what this chapter is about. This is the tough part, because none of us likes to be told what to do. We like to be told, if you want to live, we suggest that you, or it's a good idea if you, but we don't want to be told you have to. But I'm telling you that this commandment that I'm going to share with you is as much a commandment to living out your life as it is to breathe and drink water and eat food. And sleep. Those are things you have to do. If you don't do them, you die. You die. Well, this one commandment is the same as that. And you might not die immediately, but you can end up very sick, very unhappy. And it's important that we understand that this is a commandment that is put into us by our own soul before we incarnated. So it's not God telling you what to do. It's not God's plan for you. It's your plan for you. And we can get into that. I won't take the time talking about it. But it's your internal soul desire is what I call it. And it's something you've been born with. And here's the thing. You have to go after it with everything that you have. That's the commandment. You have to bring yourself complete happiness, follow your deepest joy, and you have to go after it with everything that you have. That's the commandment. You can't negotiate with it. You can't do it halfway and expect to get, a pretty good life. It doesn't work like that. If you don't go after it 100%, you don't get any of it. Your life will slowly start to come apart. Now, again, I don't want you to feel, sometimes I talk like this and people think that I'm, making things too difficult and, they don't want to feel rushed or forced. So I don't want you to feel that way, because here's how you know you're following the one commandment. The one commandment is you follow that one thing that gives you the greatest joy. Not okay joy, but the greatest joy in your life. And the way that you know that you are following your highest path is that when you go after it, it brings you joy. Now, this is the problem. Modern society has a real conflict with making yourself happy. We live for other people. We live for our government. We live for our religion. We live for our parents, our teachers, our society. And even though you may be saying, no, I don't do that, trust me, you do. We have been ingrained, we've been hypnotized, and our unconscious mind is filled with all of these what I should and shouldn't do things which are completely contrary to our inner self. And again, I get questions like this. Well, I shouldn't just focus on me. That's selfish. Shouldn't I live my life for other people? And I can tell you from personal experience, people who do that are people who are sick. And I'm talking about there are people with cancer. And I'm not just talking about one or two. There's a whole handful of people I know of. They live their life this way. They think that their life is there for other people. And when I tell them that you have to live life for yourself, they get very upset about that. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear that, no, I'm a good person because I devote my life to other people. Well, guess what? That's killing you. So the one commandment is you have to go after your own happiness. Now, here's another rule about the universe that my friends don't understand, which is that when you take care of that which makes you happy, you automatically help everybody else. Automatically. So it's not one or the other. It's not either what makes me happy or what makes them happy. I shared with you in the last installment about how I was living my life trying to please my spouse, and it got me incredibly ill. I had all kinds of incurable physical issues that went away the moment I started living life for myself. And so, I was forced into it, and the universe has been very lucky with me, is that sometimes it forces me into a position where I don't have a choice. That may not be the case for you. You may have to have a harder decision. You actually may have to make that choice. And you may have to bump up against old ideas within yourself. So this is why it's a commandment. Now, we'll talk energetically why shamanically it's a commandment. So again, your soul is what gives you life. Take your soul out of your body, boom. Your body is nothing more than, this kind of mushy computer with a bunch of, bones and fat and blood and muscle and ligament and internal organs. It's an organic robot. Without the soul, that's all it is. So your soul is where you get all of your life force energy, which is what's going to give you health, which is what's going to give you happiness, which is going to give you success. Everything is based on life force energy, and your soul is the main source of that life force energy, which allows life force energy to flow into the body and allows it to breathe, to live, to grow, and to be happy. And as long as your soul has a 100% connection to life force energy and allowing life force energy in and out, you will be healthy, you will be happy, you will be successful. Now, again, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist. Part of what's built into our program is that we run into challenges that we have to overcome. And so sometimes when we bump into those challenges, life is less than optimal. So I'm not saying you have to be perfect all the time. But I am saying that regardless of what challenges face you, if you follow this one commandment and understand that it's an energetic, it's a scientific thing. When we squish off our soul desire, when we compromise on our soul desire, when we reject it or pull back on it or do halfway, it limits the amount of life force energy that comes into us. So that means that we can't be healthy when that happens, and we can't be successful, because success is nothing more than energy as well. Money, that paper stuff, is just a symbol of the energy that is exchanging between you and the universe. And our life is that. It's an exchange between our limited self and the eternal universe, and the interface between the two is the soul. That's how we stay connected. So by following your deepest soul desire, you're going to know you're doing it because it makes you happy. Now, it's not going to be easy. There are sometimes you go after what makes you happy and you have to bump into a lot of fears. We'll get into that later, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be simple. No, you're going to have to look at some real issues. Some people more than others. So that's why it's a commandment. You can't choose not to do it, because if you choose to skimp on the commandment of making yourself happy, following your deepest passion, your deepest joy, you end up squishing off life force energy. Your body begins to suffer, your relationships, your mind, your emotions, everything begins to suffer. So that's what's built into it. So that's why it's a commandment. Anyway, so I could go on and on and on. But if you want to buy the book, go ahead and click on the link below. It'll take you directly to Amazon to buy the book. And I suggest getting the book because I'm just ranting. I make a very clear understanding in written form, which we've already talked about why that's important. And if you want to work with me on a personal level, if you want a coach, if you want a mentor, if you want a guide, click on apprenticeship. Apprenticeship just means that you work with me for 1 hour a week, and you can work with me, you commit to 1 month at a time, and you can stay with me for as little as long as you want. I don't really care. If you have any questions, of course, you can give me a call. So that's it for now. Until next time, we'll talk about the next chapter in the book.